entertainment to all elite wrestling. We rate the bloody wrestling, bloody wrestling belts. So join the boyos on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or X. This is the TDS Wrestling Show. The TDS Wrestling Show. Oh, this is the TDS Wrestling Show with Sexy Sam.
Well, hello guys, and welcome to the TDS Wrestling Show and Pro Wrestling World on this fine and fabulous and amazing Friday. It has been holy shit. SmackDown was good, wasn't it, guys? Wow. Anyway, we're not talking about SmackDown tonight, even though it was very good. There it is. That's my name. I am Sam Watts. Check me out on Instagram at Sam Watts Wrestling. So, yeah. I'll tell you what's occurring, guys. Oh boy, oh bloody boy. So, this camera setup seems to be quite a familiar thing at the moment, and I'll tell you why. Well, number one, as you all know, our co-host, DDC, Darren David Carpenter, with a bang! He sold his soul, just like John Cena did to The Rock. He sold his soul to retail and unfortunately works the most unsociable hours in the frickin' world. So unfortunately, DDC is not with us here tonight. The Tezzy Bear, my brother Terry Bloody Johnson, is not here tonight because... Well, there's a couple comments here. Might as well see who's going on. And, yeah, the Teddy Bear is away. He is at For the Love of Wrestle, Rock and Horror or something like that. Similar thing to For the Love of Wrestling. He's going to meet Joe Hendry, which is fantastic. It's going to be a fantastic experience. Say his name and he will appear. And he does believe in Joe Hendry. And, of course, my other co-host, our new co-host, Rainy Zane, Luke Rainsford, unfortunately, is not able to join us tonight due to, well, let's just put it like this, guys. He works his ass off during the day and during the week. He's absolutely burnt out, especially on this late episode tonight because it is 10 p.m. here in the UK. But I want to watch SmackDown or watch most of SmackDown. So, yeah, damn right there, Rocco. But so for the first time in TDS Wrestling Show history, hello Sean, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, Ringside Rock. I am doing tonight's episode. I'm solo. I haven't done one like this before on my own ever. No, I don't think I ever have. We got a special guest that's just kind of joined in on the show. You may have seen him front row at WrestleMania 40 last year when he's like, "No, Cody, I don't want you to beat Roman," and he beat Roman, didn't he? My friend Sean, he's here on Instagram. Glad to see that you're here, Sean, and I hope you have fun tomorrow at For the Love of Rock and Horror and Wrestling, whatever it's called. I can't quite remember. Anyway, have a blast, buddy. So, let me catch up on some of these comments. Okay, so when it comes to SmackDown, which has just happened... Oh, what are we doing now? Let me get rid of that. Let's put that one on. There we go. I've only watched the last 15 minutes of it because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a little bit under the weather. I got a bit of a cold. But there you go. Oh, damn it. If I could roll my eyes back, I would. Undertaker UK, the number one Undertaker cosplay here in the UK. His name's Simon. He's a fantastic and lovely human being. He has just joined in on the show on Instagram. Good to see you, Simon. Thank you very much for joining in on the show. Are you out For the Love of Rock and Horror and Wrestling tomorrow? I'm not. I'm here, so I won't be. But if not, I'll see you next year at For the Love of Wrestling for fucking sure, buddy. Right. SmackDown. I haven't watched all of SmackDown. Let me just catch up on some of these comments and see who's here. Of course, Michael is here. How you doing, buddy? MJR619. Bologna, Italy. That's a pretty damn hot crowd. I do feel like us Europeans seem to deliver a... we do pretty well. Like, we're a rowdy crowd. Us Europeans. Tommy Gunn, Bang Bang. Holy sex. We are live on Friday. Yes, we are live on Friday, Tommy. I'm doing this solo. I've got no one here. All the boyos are unavailable. And I Well, I could have done this Sunday, but oh fuck it. I thought I'd do it now, do it tonight at 10 p.m. here in the UK, just because. Why not? Thank you, Logan Paul, from some strawberry and banana prime. Why the hell not? Oh, that's some good shit, guys. Right, who else has been saying stuff? First, there was the Yeet SmackDown spoilers. I don't really know what happened, Michael, so I'm gonna have to watch it. I'll probably watch it tomorrow morning. Right, so we are here to talk about and review WrestleMania 15. You're talking about the Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker? Yeah, Rocco. Terrible match. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So I am here to do our 1999 timeline review. So most of you know, if you check us out on our YouTube channel, that reminds me, take a UK, Simon, get on YouTube, please, if you can, and subscribe to the TDS Wrestling Show. That would mean a great deal to me, buddy. Thank you very much. And anyone else that's watching, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. So the 1999 timeline review, myself and the Teddy Bear have been doing it since, well, we started the 1997 timeline in 2020. What year are we in? 2020. Oh, I'm lost. At least a year or 2 years ago, I started the 1997 timeline about halfway through 97, where he was doing it, and we've just continued from that point. So we're now at 1999. This is our second Mania. We did WrestleMania. Okay, so it was 2023. We did our 97 timeline. That's what it was. And then last year in 2024, we did 1998. 2025. Here we are now in 1999. So we're 26 years behind in our timeline, and we have landed on WrestleMania 15. So we've done Royal Rumble 99, and we have done what was it called? St. Valentine's Day Massacre. We've done both of those. Excuse me, guys. I'm a bit congested. Bit of a man flu, you know. So yeah, we are at WrestleMania 15. Yeah, I know you're probably going to raise an eyebrow to this one. So this WrestleMania, I mean, yeah, it's got the Attitude Era all over it. He's DDC is here in the comments. He's here in spirit. Where's Luke? Darren, there is no Luke. Luke could not make tonight, so I'm doing this one solo, buddy. Unless you want to get in your car and drive over to HQ, you're only 5 minutes away. So it's only you've plenty of time, you know, only a matter of time. You could do it if you wanted to. Oh yeah, guys, what do you think of my my new Bret Hart hoodie? Booyah! Fucking love it. Rocco, first Mania for Big Show. It was indeed WrestleMania 15. So let me get a couple details up of WrestleMania 15, because not only has it got the Attitude Era written all over it in every single possible way, but it's got someone else's name written all over it. And that's Vince Russo. He kind of put this WrestleMania together, and it was the last WrestleMania he ever put together. The last one. And there's probably a reason for it. But anyway, WrestleMania 15 was on March the 28th, 1999. So a week. So next week, next Friday, would be the 26th anniversary of WrestleMania 15. And it was held at the First Union Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Wow. Last year's WrestleMania in Philadelphia was something else, wasn't it, guys? Very, very good show. So WrestleMania 15. I mean, crikey. This is where I'd love to have some of my co-hosts here to kind of bounce off this and see how long we can keep this episode going. But I guarantee you guys, this will not be like a 2-hour episode, I'm afraid. It is going to be I'll stretch it to an hour if I can. I'll do my best for you. Keep me going. Keep you guys going. I will just check on Instagram, see how we're doing on Instagram. Yeah, we're good. Bloody hell, there's plenty of you guys watching. This is great. Fantastic. DDC can pretend he's walking the dog. That's a good idea. That's a fantastic idea, actually. Really good idea. DDC. Yeah, no problem. I haven't done the research, plus just got in from work and it's dinner time. Whoop. If Sam had said earlier, might have made it. To be honest, Darren, I forgot to mention anything and I knew you'd probably be working, so it was too much of a push and I didn't want you to I didn't want to put you out, really. So there we go, mate. Yeah, well, Luke was supposed to be doing it, but unfortunately he's burnt out. He's had a hard day, and it's just one of them things, mate. So here we go. WrestleMania 15 opened up with Boys to Men singing America the Beautiful. I mean, this was cool. You know, I didn't mind this going back. And then you have the classic video package with classy Freddie Blassie. I think for a lot of folks who were, you know, old school, really old school wrestling fans, like, they found this video quite touching. So I've listened to a couple of podcasts from Bruce Pritchard, Jim Ross, and the Road Dogg Jesse James as well, Brian Armstrong. And they're really quite this Freddie Blassie package, a video package to start the show, was quite a big thing for these guys, because Freddie Blassie was such an iconic figure, you know, around that time for them anyway. It's okay, Sam, if you don't feel well and you can shorten the show. Yeah, I mean, I'll do my best, Tommy. Like everyone that's watching, thank you very much. I'm going to do my best. I'll stretch it for as long as I can. I'm even going to try and score the show just like I used to. I'm going to score how I would score it, and well, yeah, you can tell me what you think as well. That prime is fantastic, by the way. So, right, here we go. So, you will find, if you have watched WrestleMania 15, you don't have your traditional commentators from the Attitude Era, more so for the pay-per-views. You got Jerry the King Lawler and Michael Cole. So JR was not actually on TV for a good 3 or 4 months, mainly because he had a Bell's palsy attack in the later part of 1998, and he was still recovering from it. And he does make an appearance on the show. He commentates the main event with Steve Austin and The Rock, but his facial paralysis is relatively noticeable on the main event. And so we got Michael Cole who steps in, but I find this irritating because Michael Cole's still very green, and he's still very what's the word? Irritating. He's a pain in the ass, but hey, he's doing good. But I just feel like he's trying to he pushes King to a side, I find. That's just my view. Anyway, moving on. So the very first match to open up WrestleMania is a triple threat match for the World Wrestling Federation. Yeah, not WWE, but WWF. And it was good. For the World Wrestling Federation Hardcore Championship, which was Hardcore Holly versus Al Snow, with head, of course, versus Badass Billy Gunn. Now, what a way to open the show. And to be fair, I think it was a really good match to open the show because it was just so fun. It was just, with Billy Gunn, they're trying to not split up the New Age Outlaws right now, but they're just dipping them into the singles, the singles scene just that little bit. And with Billy Gunn chucking them into the hardcore division, I kind of felt like should have been the other way around. I think Road Dogg should have been in that position, not Billy Gunn. But that's just me, because Billy Gunn did actually challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. I think it was the later part of 98 or early part of 99. I can't quite remember. It was on a Monday Night Raw against Ken Shamrock. I remember that much. And I think he did win it, but it went the other way in the end, and the decision was reversed. But I think Billy Gunn would have been a great IC champion, especially around this time. But there we go. So, yeah, 7 minutes and 6 seconds. It wasn't a long match, but it was exceptionally good for a hardcore match. It was great fun. I know, there's a lot of people out there that don't really enjoy the hardcore matches, but if you go back and watch the hardcore matches now in 2025 and you look back and watch something from 1999, your outlook's going to be totally different on it. You got to put yourself in that position where you were 26 years ago watching a hardcore match. You are naturally going to love the fucking match. It's going to be great fun because it's more violent with a hardcore match. You got weapons and the unpredictability of where the hell the weapons are going to be. Is it going to hit their head? Is it going to hit their ass? Is it going to hit? Who knows? It's the innovative part of the violence they can use with the weapons. That's what I love about the hardcore match. And I remember watching this 26 years ago, and I was really hoping Billy Gunn was going to retain this. I really like Billy Gunn's ring attire. That's the thing I find with the Attitude Era. Everyone's ring attire stood out. It was like either colourful or quirky or different. But there we go. But yeah, no, all three guys put on a pretty damn good performance within 7 minutes and 6 seconds. See, Hardcore Holly, he was not really looking like Hardcore Holly. He just had the black trunks and black boots. He was relatively boring looking, to be fair. But Al Snow had his part, and Billy Gunn definitely. But yeah, Hardcore Holly came out on top and won this match, which was a little bit of a surprise. Remembering back when I first watched it, because I wanted Billy Gunn to win. But there we go. So the next match is for the World Wrestling Federation. Let's try and stick to the old school term, shall we? For the tag team championships. So you've got this really odd pairing of D'Lo Brown and Test versus Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett, which are the champions. So D'Lo Brown and Test, right, were in a tag team battle royal to determine the number one contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championship on the Sunday Night Heat before WrestleMania. And D'Lo Brown and Test won when they eliminated Droz and the Godfather. Now, this is a strange pairing because Test is part of the corporation and D'Lo Brown is kind of on his own, doing his own thing, really. But he is actually in the tag team with Mark Henry, but Mark Henry's out on injury. I think he's on a knee injury around this time. I think it is anyway. So, yeah, this wasn't the best match, but 3 minutes and 4 minutes basically of Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett and D'Lo Brown doing exceptionally well with the addition of Test in the match. You know, like D'Lo Brown's one of my personal favourites, and Owen Hart, of course. Jeff Jarrett's great. We get a little bit of interference from PMS, Pretty Mean Sisters, Jackie and Terry, because Deborah's involved with, obviously, Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett, and Ivory is kind of sidelined with D'Lo Brown. But yeah, it's more storyline based, this one, than it is match based. Even though D'Lo Brown, again, is a phenomenal wrestler, but along with Owen Hart, them two, you're going to get magic out of those two for sure. And Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett retained the championships, which was pretty damn obvious. And then at the end of the match, D'Lo Brown and Test are arguing about about how the match ended. And then they start having a fight outside the ring, and that was that. So it was a little bit of a strange setup there for sure. Oh, I forgot. I should be scoring these matches, shouldn't I? So let me get my screen up. Try and make it a little bit more exciting for you guys. And there we go. Oh, that's WrestleMania 15 for sure. So what I need to do... Where is it? No. There we go. Right, so you can see how... Where is it to? It's there? No, it's there. There we go. You can see it. So this is how we score our matches here at the TDS Wrestling Show. So I guarantee you now there is not a 6-star match on this card whatsoever. 5-star match, you have to wait and see. But you get the gist of how we score our matches. So 0-star is the worst match award. 1-star light heavyweight championship. 2-star hardcore. 3-star European. 3.5-star tag team. 4-star intercontinental. 5-star Big Eagle WWE Championship, and a 6-star being a Smoke and Skull WWE Championship. There we go, guys. So that is how we do it here. Right, so the first match, which is Hardcore Holly winning the Hardcore Championship, I'm going to give that a European because it was great fun within the 7 minutes that they had their match. Pretty damn good. I'll go with that one. The second match for the Tag Team Championships, Owen Hart defeating Jeff Jarrett. Yeah. I'm not going to score that one high. I will probably... Where the hell's my cursor? Yeah, I'm probably going to give that a light heavyweight because there wasn't really a build to it. It was just a thrown together thing. So they had a tag team going So they had the tag team championships on the card. That's the main point of the whole thing there. So there we go. Let me. Oh God, here we go. So the next match is the Brawl for All. Do we really need to get? Well, okay. You must know. Bart Gunn won the Brawl for All tournament in 1998, and then they set up this match for Butterbean versus Bart Gunn. And we all know what happens there. It was a shit show. Bart Gunn basically just got obliterated by Butterbean. Ow, and knocked the damn guy out. Completely out cold. But it was the whiplash from Bart Gunn when he landed on the mat. The whiplash of his neck could have caused a serious problem, but it was all good. In the end, it was all good. But, like, it's a shame for Bart Gunn because I think if he was still in the Smoking Guns with Billy Gunn, maybe we would have had something a little bit more exciting come out of his wrestling career. Unfortunately not. After the Smoking Guns, it was, in my opinion anyway. And I think Terry would say the same because Terry's a big fan of the Smoking Guns. Okay, so moving on. By the way, what would I score the Brawl for All? I'll give it a light heavyweight. No, I can't. That's too much. I'm going to give it a sideways slammy. Worst. I can't score it because it wasn't a wrestling match. It was a boxing match. Brawl for All. Bollocks. Yeah, I can't be dealing with that. So, who the hell is this? Yeah, Pete Rose comes out, doesn't he? Dressed as a chicken. And Vinny Pazienza tries to shake his hand and then he just takes him out. Hey ho, there you go. Then we have this backstage segment where we have Kevin Kelly interviewing Mankind. So Mankind and the Big Show, Paul White, are set to face each other to... So whoever wins this match would be the special guest referee in the main event for the WWE Championship between Steve Austin and The Rock. Which then leads straight after this backstage interview is where we have the Big Show, Paul White versus Mankind. Now, do you know what? For a debut match for the Big Show, Paul White at WrestleMania, I don't think he did too bad for a big guy. Mick Foley, though, I kind of feel bad for Mick Foley because even back then when I was a kid watching this, I feel like he should have been put in that picture. He should have been put in that main event picture as a wrestler, not as a special guest referee, because I think Mick Foley himself was actually quite upset with the fact that he had this great build going into 99 as a WWE champion on 2 occasions, and then it just doesn't happen at WrestleMania. And I think even looking back now, he should have been put in that picture somehow, some way. I think it would have worked as a triple threat to some degree. Who knows? It didn't happen. But yeah, I think the match was good though, because both guys pulled it out all the way and Paul White did very well with his debut match. I think it was okay. So I would definitely give it a 3-star. I'd give it a European Championship. It was the outcome of it though, because obviously the Big Show, Paul White, got disqualified. And then Vince McMahon comes out and starts giving Paul White a lot of stick for his cock-up, because now Mick Foley is going to be the special guest referee in the main event. And then this is where the Big Show ruffles up Vince McMahon. He goes to chokeslam him and then puts him down. And then, anyway, the Big Show, Paul White, gets arrested later on in the show because of his actions towards Vince McMahon. This is the thing. We're not even halfway through this WrestleMania, and it's already turning into a crazy Monday Night Raw, if you know what I mean. Especially in 1999, like what the fuck? This is great. There's so much going on. Again, it's got Vince Russo's name written all over this WrestleMania, 100%. Okay, that match was only 6.5 minutes. Shit the bed. Okay, so this gets a little bit more interesting. So the next match is for the WWE Intercontinental Championship in a 4 corners elimination match. The Road Dogg is the champion versus Goldust, Ken Shamrock, and Val Venus. Now, Val Venus and Ken Shamrock. They do get eliminated halfway through the match, or three quarters of the way through, due to them fighting outside the ring, and they actually get counted out. But before that, these four, holy fucking shit, this was actually really good. It wasn't like super long, but what was it? Nearly 10 minutes, about 10 minutes long. But we had a really good match out of all four of these guys. You got Road Dogg Jesse James, like I said earlier on, he should have been in the Hardcore Championship picture personally. Like, if you put Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg next to each other, who is the better wrestler? I don't know, because I would say Billy Gunn, but Road Dogg is very good. But Road Dogg did really good in this match. Like, he was wrestling clean cut, very, very good. Ken Shamrock, second to none. Val Venus, what a talent. What a talent, especially back then, you know. Good for Val. He did really good in this. And Goldust, wow, yeah. Dustin Rhodes. You never forget his name. Absolutely brilliant. Fucking awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. Yeah, it might have been a little bit too short for my liking. I would have liked to have seen it for maybe 20 minutes. Seen a little bit more out of them, because a lot of these matches are rushed. I don't think there's a match longer than 20 minutes on this card at all. It was a shame, especially for this one. But seeing the Road Dogg as the Intercontinental Champion kind of looked good, but kind of didn't at the same time. But, yeah, no, again, really, really good match. All four of them put on a great performance. We had lots of exciting little spots out of these guys as well, especially from Road Dogg and Val Venus. So, yeah, I thought this was good. And I'm going to give it a tag team. I'm going to give it a 3.5 stars. Mainly as well because of the talent in that ring. And we got a surprisingly good performance. So, yeah, I'm really cool with this one. This is great. So it was after this match is where the Big Show, Paul White, is actually arrested. So I don't know whether he's handcuffed or not. Excuse me, guys. Oh, dear. But he doesn't have a top on. He's got a towel around his neck. I think they cuff him. I think. And then they push him into some small little car. Small little police car. And he's like this. I can't fucking fit. And off they go. They take him to the police station. This is not a normal WrestleMania in any way. You see what I mean? Right, let's move on. So the next match is Kane versus Triple H. Now, before WrestleMania, Chyna had left D-Generation X to side herself with Kane, who was part of the corporation. And yeah, there was a nice little twist to all this, to be fair. Well, yeah, so last week on the Monday Night Raw, leading up to WrestleMania 15, Triple H is dressed as Goldust and fires a bazooka into Kane to try and burn his eyes out. Well, he's already got one burnt eye. He could have been blind. Who knows? But several weeks prior to that, Kane sent a fireball which was aimed to Triple H but hit Chyna. Anyway, Chyna still was still siding with Kane at this time. So before the match starts, Kane comes out Kane comes out dressed like Kane, but Pete Rose runs out to try and attack Kane, and Pete Rose is dressed as the fucking chicken who we saw earlier on in the show. And Pete Rose gets the same treatment as he did last year at WrestleMania 14. Tombstone. Yeah, I think he takes the Tombstone quite well, to be fair to Pete Rose. So good for him. But then again, moving on, it's Kane versus Triple H. And to be fair, I thought this was very, very good. I do feel with Kane now, around this time, he's feeling a little bit lost compared to where he was at the previous year's WrestleMania 14, where it's him and The Undertaker going off, having that iconic brother versus brother match. And the storyline that he was involved in with The Undertaker was great. But yeah, I was always interested to see where the Kane character would go after that point. And in later part of 98, Kane and The Undertaker actually formed a tag team, an alliance, the Brothers of Destruction. And I was disappointed on how that actually ended, because it just kind of fizzled quite quick, because Kane was The Undertaker just basically started siding with Paul Bearer, which was then slowly forming the Ministry of Darkness. Wouldn't you think, or wouldn't you have thought that Kane should have been part of the Ministry of Darkness as well? Imagine the two of them running that. That would have been even more interesting. As well, we would have seen Paul Bearer manage both the Brothers of Destruction together. We never ever saw that. We only ever saw Paul Bearer managing either The Undertaker or Kane. It was never both at the same time, which was a damn shame. I would have loved to have seen that. That's where WWE fucked up. But anyway, Triple H versus Kane. Yeah, no, this was a great match. But with Kane, he was definitely the weaker link of the match for sure. But then China comes out to, and she tries to put a chair in the ring to attack Triple H, because obviously she sided with Kane at this point. But then she turns on Kane, hits the chair to the back of Kane, and then Triple H gains his win. So I love the little twist, because China is now back in with D-Generation X. Yeah, no, this was great. This was really, really good. And the crowd were hyped for this match. And to be fair to the crowd in this whole arena, the crowd were very, very hot on this whole event. Nearly this whole event. But this was a good match. I love the pop at the end, where China and Triple H are reunited. Nice little moment there. I thought that was really, really cool. So yeah, I'm going to give this European. Probably wouldn't give it a tag, but I'll definitely give it European. So I'll give it a 3-star match for sure. Oh no, actually, technically, Kane wins by disqualification. I keep forgetting that. I do keep forgetting that. Anyway, that's well, yeah, that's that. So, because going back to the referee, the special guest referee spot. My brother, the Teddy Bear, has joined the show. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, mate. Darren was here, but he fucked off. Where am I to, Teddy Bear? So right now, I am just about to talk about the special guest referee match. Well, I've already scored it, but so Vince McMahon is backstage with Kevin Kelly, and he says he has the best looking referee shirt in his bag, and he says he's going to be the special guest referee. Now, the thing is, Mick Foley was sent to the hospital earlier in the night because when the Big Show, Mick Foley was on the Big Show's back, and then the Big Show drops himself back and basically crushes the ribs of Mick Foley. And then obviously after that match is where the Big Show, Paul White, and Vince McMahon have that altercation, and he's sent to the police station. So basically they still don't have a referee for the main event. So basically, Vince McMahon says he has the best looking referee shirt, and he says, I'm going to be the special guest referee. Okay, Vince. And then he comes out later on in the night not wearing a special guest referee shirt. Again, this has got Vince Russo's name written all over it. Fucking hell. Oh, God. This is where I need Teddy Bear here right now. Oh, no. So the next match is no more fucking trees. Yeah, guys, the Teddy Bear was attacked by a fucking tree. Literally a tree. Motherfucking tree. Bitch, twat, motherfucker. So the next match is probably the best match on the card. What a fantastic match this was. Our buddy Jimmy Corderas, former WWE referee, refereed this match. The best match on this card. And it was for the WWE Women's Championship. Oh, good fucking Lord of God of Mary, and buy me a new bike. So, Sable retains her Women's Championship against Tori. This is Tori as an X-Pac Tori. These two can't wrestle to fucking save their life. Sable didn't want to wrestle. All Sable wanted to do was do the grind, show off her sex appeal, and sell some Playboy magazines. Where Tori comes out wearing this. I have no idea what she's wearing. But this was just a botch. And I felt bad for Jimmy, our buddy Jimmy, just for having to referee this match. This was fucking terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. And I'm giving this a sideways slammy. It does not deserve a star. It doesn't even deserve a sideways slammy. It deserves a pile of cat poo on a tray. Maybe dog poo with a candle on the top. Yeah, poor Jimmy Terry. How the fuck did he have to do this? Dear oh dear. So yeah, that match fucking sucked. Absolutely fucking sucked. Let's move on, shall we? So, we have a backstage segment where it wasn't terrible for my doofer. Oh, I bet it wasn't, Teddy Bear. Oh, dear. So we have this little backstage segment where Kevin Kelly is interviewing D-Generation X with China, who's now just rejoined D-Generation X. And I'm looking at a lovely photo of China over this. Oh, fuck me. I was very sexually attracted to China, and I still am. I wouldn't say I am now, she's dead. But, like, looking back, I would, if I was the right age. I fucking... Oh, yeah. Anyway, the next match is for the WWE European Championship. X-Pac versus the champion, Shane McMahon. Where are we to? 8 minutes, 41 seconds. I thought this was one of the matches of the night. This was great. This is Sean Waltman's first WrestleMania in a very long time. And so Sean Waltman as an X-Pac, and it was Shane McMahon's first WrestleMania. This was a very, very good match. Great little feud going into this. This is where I'm missing like the Monday Night Raws leading up to WrestleMania 15, because there was, now we've gone onto Netflix. The network's not available. We've lost so much content. It's going to take a while for that content to be put onto Netflix. But I would love to see. I'd love to see a lot of this building up. So this is where our 1999 timeline's been fucked in the ass a little bit, but it is what it is. But this match was excellent. Both guys athletically put on a fucking great performance. Sam wants 2 weekends in China. I do, Michael. I'd love to. If she was still alive and looking like that right now, I would have to leave my wife and knock on the door. Excuse me, is this room 69? If you know what I mean. The Teddy Bear has said, Shane and X-Pac was great together, and it was great to see X-Pac not being the coward he was in he was the dominant one. Very strange, but it was cool to see. I agree there, Teddy Bear. I do agree. Tommy, X-Pac's underrated. 100%. I absolutely loved seeing Sean Waltman in 1998, 99. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. And no, this match was great. This match was very, very good. And do you know what? In a weird way, Shane, he was no wrestler, but he did good. He did good in this match, and they looked after each other, and everything was executed correctly. And it was good. Great match. And I'm going to give this a tag team. 3.5 stars. It deserves it. Sean Waltman deserves it. But there's a twist at the end, isn't there? So Shane McMahon, who was part of the corporation, and you got X-Pac, who's part of D-Generation X, Triple H and China come out, and they turn on X-Pac. And China's just rejoined DX, and now she's fucking left DX. This was actually her very last time being part of D-Generation X in the early part of 99. I was sad about this, but the twist where Triple H and China go into the corporation and start pushing towards the main event picture needed to happen. It was great, and it worked, but the turn was so unexpected. And then you have Billy Gunn and Road Dogg come out, who tried to defend X-Pac from the attack from Triple H, China, and Shane. Yeah, that's a sad little affair happening there, and it's sad to see. But great storytelling, and that's what it's all about. This was great match, great storytelling. Can't go wrong. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 stars. It was very, very good. Okay, so let's move on to... Oh, boy. Oh, no. Another bad match. Excuse me, let me just drink my prime. I fucking love that. That's bloody lovely. So, I'm not going to go into great detail on this one because this is fucking terrible. Hell in a Cell. The Undertaker defeating the Big Boss Man. So really, obviously, the Undertaker has got a feud with Vince McMahon, but because Vince is obviously who is the leader of the corporation and the Big Boss Man who was brought back into WWE in the later part of '98 as an enforcer for the corporation, is like Vince's like henchman. So yeah, right, you go do that match for me. That's kind of how this one kind of come about. Yeah, this was so bad, guys. This was the worst Hell in a Cell match of all time, as Rocco did say earlier on in the comments. It was absolutely shocking. Rob Coker, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I'm doing a solo podcast here, mate, all on my own. Oh my God, but it's all going well. So far, so good, hey? All good? Yeah, like you said, Tommy, this was awful. It was under 10 minutes as well. That's the theme with this WrestleMania. Terrible matches. Not all of them are terrible, though, I find, Michael. That's the only thing. But this one is fucking shit. The worst Hell in a Cell match of all time. The shortest Hell in a Cell match of all time. But it gets worse. So obviously, The Undertaker wins. But the Brood come down, who are lowered down onto the top of the Hell in a Cell cage. And they let down a noose where they tie the noose around Big Boss Man's neck, who technically does have a harness on, by the way. He clips him onto a harness and then lifts him up. It's all very well put together in the earlier part of that day, which was rehearsed. Yeah, and then they hang Big Boss Man whilst the cage is lifting. It's really, really bad. Even back then, watching that, 26 years ago, there is no fucking way that was fun to watch. That was bollocks. No fun whatsoever. Terry says, I have... Oh, here we go. Let me... I have no words for this match, unfortunately, apart from shite. No knock on Ray Taylor. It's Ray Trailer. Like a trailer, you tow. Ray Trailer. Tommy Gunn. The hanging was shocking at the time. It's crazy to think we grew up with this stuff. How offended would today's generation be? That's a good point there, Tommy. It wouldn't... There's no way. You bunch of pussies. Bunch of pussies. I never liked it. Even when I was a kid, I didn't like it. I remember my mum shouting at me watching it because she didn't realise what the hell I was watching. Yeah, not my thing. It was shit. It was an awful touch. And then when the cage is being lifted, the Brood, Edge, Christian, and Gangrel, they're all being lifted up. And then Edge is just like, oh, shit, my rig's not working. What? Why am I not going up? Set me up! And he's he's just hanging there. And... Okay, turn the lights off quick, and then that's when they take Boss Man down and move on with the next part of the match. Yeah, this was bad, and I'm gonna give it, because it's got the Undertaker in there. I like the Undertaker; he's one of my favorites of all time. But I'm gonna give this a. Oh, what can I give it? What can I give this match? I'm gonna give it a probably a hardcore. I think. Yeah, I'm going to give it a hardcore, mainly because of The Undertaker. This all sounds fabulous. Well, it would be, Darren. Yes, it would be. Head injury. Well, you're the one with the head injury there, Tezzy Bear. Oh, dear. Right, let's move on to... right, here we go. We're on the main event already. The Tezzy Bear lives, yeah. He's here. He's not dead, Darren. No, he's not dead. So, the main event for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. Vince McMahon comes out, who said he was going to be wearing a referee shirt, which he doesn't. He just wears a sleeveless black t-shirt. And he's ready to referee the main event, where Shawn Michaels comes out, who is the commissioner of the World Wrestling Federation. Where do you know what? There's such a huge pot for Shawn Michaels coming out, and it was great to see him at WrestleMania. But what he was explaining to Vince, that he did not read that WWE rule book. That he can't... what did he say? So basically, Shawn said to Vince that he can't put himself in that position to become a guest referee. Only Shawn can. So he basically says, you need to start stepping and hit the bricks, McMahon. Tells him to get the fuck out of the ring, and then they walk out the aisle. They're walking towards the entrance, to exit that part of the arena after their little discussion, which was great to see Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, like I said. So, what the hell's going on there? Breaking news for me. That. Why is this? Oh no, Terry's been alive. He got hit on the head, Darren. He's not been fucking right. He obviously didn't want to talk to you. We can't even remember what you look like. Who, Darren or Terry? This WrestleMania was shot. Glad I smacked my head. See, I don't think it was that shit. I just think the way it was booked was shit. But some of the matches were okay. But that's just my view. But like I said, Terry, it's got Vince Russo's name written all over it, because Vince Russo was the one that put this WrestleMania together, and that's why it is the way it is. It's there are some cool matches. I would say there are some okay matches. But it's all about the main event, isn't it? So we've got the challenger, Stone Cold Steve Austin, facing The Rock for the WWE Championship. Yeah, the booking was crap. I could book this better. We know that, Tezzy Bear. Even with you being banged on the head, you'd still be able to do a fucking good job of this one. For fucking sure, boyo. So, it is a no disqualification match for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. And, yeah, this match was fucking awesome. It was a very, very good match. And it was the first real match we had in the main event spot with Steve Austin and The Rock in this main picture. So at WrestleMania, fantastic. And yeah, so here's an interesting fact. Steve Austin he would traditionally come out wearing a vest, wouldn't he? But he didn't come out in a vest on this WrestleMania. He came out wearing a t-shirt. And the reason for that was he was having a brand new vest made specifically for WrestleMania 15. But what happened was, when he arrived at the arena, he discovered that the vest was not finished in time for WrestleMania. And he never brought any other vest with him. Therefore, that's why he wore a t-shirt at WrestleMania and not his traditional vest. So there's another little pointer for you guys. If you ever wanted to know what the hell that was all about, there you go. Right, so yeah, this match is fantastic. Yeah, they brawl around the arena in the entranceway, and you know, the typical things happening where they're throwing each other into the stage rigging, the light rigging as well, and like the barricades when you're walking down the aisle. Excuse me. There's a lot going on here, and eventually the match gets into the ring where they're wrestling it out and actually trying to have a proper wrestling match. And then the steel chair gets involved. And then Steve Austin goes to hit The Rock with the steel chair. But then he pulls our other buddy, Mike Chioda, another WWE referee, hits him across the fucking head and takes him out. Oh, shit. Here we go. So that's all happening. Then they're having another little bit of a brawl. And then Tim White comes in after The Rock delivers a rock bottom to Steve Austin. Then 1, 2, he kicks out, and then The Rock is just like, what the hell is this? And then The Rock does a rock bottom to Tim White. Oh, for that poor little sausage. Anyway, so after that, there's a couple sleeper holds, and I think the guys are just having a rest on the mat. And then eventually we get to that point where Steve Austin is he does his, what do I put it? What's the word for this? It's like your last set of moves. So he does his Luthez press, and then he does the stump in the mud hole, and then he'll do the elbow drop, and then they're getting ready for the stunner. The Rock is the best person to ever take a stunner. He sells that absolutely perfectly. But then Vince McMahon comes out, and because Earl Hebner is a referee at this time, and then he hits Earl Hebner out of the ring. And then thankfully, Mick Foley comes out as Mankind as the special guest referee, which is what he was recruited for this evening. And then he basically does the rest of the match until Steve Austin finally defeats The Rock for the WWE Championship. Brand new champion. But then Earl Hebner can't help himself and has a little bit of a couple beers with Steve Austin. I think he's having a bit of a fun time here. But no, this was great. This was a really, really good match. Again, great storytelling, pretty damn good wrestling, and a pretty damn good we had some good little spots here and there. So I'm just going to read what I have written up for this. So I've only written notes just for this one match because the rest of it, I thought I could wing it. So, okay. So for the WWE Championship, the brawl around the arena and the entrance, Rock drops Austin on the floor. Austin recovers and whips Rock into the Mania sign. After, they return to ringside and Austin puts Rock through the announcer's table. But Rocky lands a rock bottom in the ring. It only gets 2. Austin then wipes out the ref, which is Mike Chioda, with a chair shot. When Tim White arrives, Rock uses uses a chair, chin locks, and a Samoan drop. That didn't work, so a frustrated Rock gives Tim White the rock bottom. Austin nails a stunner as Hebner arrives. It gets 2. This draws out Vince. He clocks Hebner and joins Rock in stomping Austin. So Mankind returns and takes over as referee. Austin rallies. I don't know how I read that. Austin rallies with a Thez press, only to eat another rock bottom. However, the Rock misses the elbow. It leads to traded finishing attempts until Austin scores the stunner. Foley counts to 3. And that is basically what happened. So, yeah, it was a fun brawl. I see, this is the thing. I know a lot of people aren't fan of them going into the crowd. I don't mind it, but I do feel like that one was a little bit of a dangerous one because the crowd were just going right in between both guys. They could barely move. It was pointless going out in the crowd, in my opinion. But anyway, I overlooked all of that. It was a great, great match. Great show of for Steve Austin, being back on top as WWE champion. We needed it. The crowd loved it. We needed it at the time as well. This was fantastic. Then Earl Hebner's trying to celebrate with Steve Austin, tries to drink some beers and hold the title for him. And then Vince McMahon comes in the ring and he starts giving him Steve Austin all this. and then we have hold on, guys. Hang on. I've just had a very interesting message come through. Oh. Well, that's fantastic. Let me just see what else is going on. Right, yeah. So Earl Hebner is trying to drink beer with Steve Austin, where Vince McMahon comes in, gives him all this, and then Steve Austin gives him a stunner and pours a load of beer over him. And the best spot is was literally the last scene you see just before the end, the show finishes, where Steve Austin is holding up his championship belt as the winner of the match, and Earl Hebner's holding his hand with a beer, and then Vince McMahon is on the floor going, ah! And then Steve Austin's got his foot on his chest. Absolutely fantastic. What a way to end WrestleMania. So, this is where I kind of feel like this wasn't a terrible Mania in its own way. So if let's look at these matches again. Oh, where are we to? I've lost the matches. Shit. So where are we to? Hardcore Holly, defeated Billy Gunn and Al Snow to win the Hardcore Championship from Billy Gunn. So yeah, Hardcore Holly is the new Hardcore Champion. Again, like I said, I thought this was actually quite good. It's a good opening match for a WrestleMania for the Attitude Era. So yeah, I thought this was pretty good. Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett defeating D'Lo Brown and Test to retain the tag team championships. This was in 4 minutes. This match wasn't great, unfortunately, and I felt bad for Owen Hart and D'Lo because them two are like two of my favorites of all time. Butterbean and Bart Gunn and the Brawl for All match, 35 seconds. Yeah, I can't really score it because it wasn't a wrestling match and it just wasn't good for Bart Gunn. Mick Foley or Mankind defeating Big Show via disqualification. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this. This was good. It was good for Big Show to get his spot on Mania. I just felt bad for Mankind because I think he should have been wrestling for the championship in the main event picture. The Four Corners elimination match for the Intercontinental Championship. Road Dogg defeating or retaining his European Championship against Goldust, Ken Shamrock, and Val Venus. Very, very good match. Thoroughly enjoyed that. So, yeah, looking at the card so far, the Hardcore Championship, good. Owen Hart, Jeff Jarrett, and D'Lo and Test for the tag titles, not so good. Then we've got Mankind and Big Show, yes, great. The Intercontinental Championship match, definitely great. Kane and Triple H, yes, a good match. Sable and Tori Women's Championship, no, that was shit. Shane McMahon and X-Pac for the European Championship, yes, great. The Hell in the Cell, Taker and Big Boss Man, that fucking sucked. That was shit. And then Steve Austin and The Rock for the WWF Championship. Great. So we've got 7 and 3. There's 10 matches. 7 were great. 3 were shit. So this is where I kind of feel it wasn't a bad Mania. But it didn't look like a WrestleMania. It looked like a Monday Night Raw. A really, really good Monday Night Raw. That's how I saw it. What have you said here then, Terry? Let's see what you've said. See, this is how I would book it. New Age Outlaws versus Owen and Jeff Jarrett for the tags. Shamrock versus Val IC. Hardcore Holly versus Al Snow versus Bossman for the Hardcore title. And Big Show versus The Undertaker. Okay. Mankind versus Vince. Winner refs the main event. Triple H and X-Pac versus Kane and Shane. Austin versus Rock Championship. I really, really like that. And I really, really like that. That's a great analogy. God, I'm so congested. I can't even fucking talk properly. That's cool. I really like that. The Women's Championship, I wouldn't have bothered putting on the card. Personally, I thought that was terrible. But that's cool. I like that. I like that. So really, there was 10 matches on the card, and 7 of those matches were very, very good. Yeah, it's the other 3. Butterbean and Bart, the Women's Championship and the Hell in the Cell sucked, in my opinion. Oh, and the tag, so actually 4 matches. Yeah, it was good. I got to give it the benefit of the doubt. It was a good show. There's lots going on. Storytelling here was great, and I can't knock him for that. Storytelling was very, very good. But the thing is, there's a little bit of a story going into the Hardcore Championship. A little bit. More so of Hardcore Holly and Al Snow. Billy Gunn's just there because he's part of DX, and he's a popular name. Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett, D'Lo and Test. Nah, not so good. D'Lo and Mark Henry would have made sense. Butterbean and Bart Gunn for the Brawl for All match. Whatever. Mankind and Big Show. Like I said, I think they got... Nothing went wrong there, I swear to God. Nothing went wrong. I mean it. We're all good, yeah? Yeah, of course we're all good. Nothing went wrong. And, yeah, so... Oh, that was weird. That was... When that fridge went, that microphone went. Oh, we'll deal with it. So, yeah, the outcome, they got what they wanted. They got what they wanted. But the... yeah, so where was I to? Mankind and Big Show. Like I said, I personally think Mick Foley should have been in that WWE Championship picture, not as a referee. I really think he should have been in that main event somewhere. Yeah, and obviously there was a story between Mankind and Big Show, so it did make sense. Road Dogg, Ken Shamrock, Val Venus, and Goldust. So Goldust has actually got the Blue Meanie, who we had a match against at St. Valentine's Day Massacre. He's now with Goldust. And Ryan Shamrock. So, like, Ryan Shamrock, I get that, because Ryan was with Val. But yeah, there's a little bit of a story between Ken Shamrock and Val Venus. Val Venus and Goldust, yes, a little. But Road Dogg, again, like with Billy Gunn in the Hardcore Championship match, the only reason why Road Dogg's in this match and is the champion is because he's part of D-Generation X. It's a big draw, it's a big name. Kane and Triple H, yeah, this made sense because obviously Chyna was siding herself with Kane, and Triple H he wanted to get revenge. He wanted his girl back. So yeah, all good. I get that. So storytelling wise, it makes sense so far to some degree. Sable and Tori, fucking load of bollocks. There's no story there whatsoever. Shane McMahon and X-Pac for the European Championship. Yep, 100%. And I agree with you there, Terry. Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, they should have been swapped around the other way around for sure. But to be fair to Road Dogg in this match, he delivered actually very, very well. So I can't really knock him for it. He was good. Even Billy was good in the hardcore match. So, yeah, it's all good. So the storytelling going into The Undertaker and Big Boss Man and Hell in a Cell, there's a little bit of a story, but the match was shit. And the main event, of course, Steve Austin and The Rock, there's one hell of a fucking story. There's been a story there for nearly 2 years anyway. So this was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I remember seeing the Steve Austin versus The Rock at In Your House 19, D-Generation X, in December of 97 for the Intercontinental Championship. You got the whole Nation of Domination and Steve Austin, and they're fighting on top of a car and everything. It's fucking great fun. That was really, really good. So I've always known from like that point going forward, you're always going to get Steve Austin and The Rock at some point in a main event picture at Mania, and we got it. And this was the first time, and it wasn't the last time. We had another 2 more. I do personally feel like the build going into WrestleMania 17 between Steve Austin and The Rock is probably, if not the best, the best story going into a main event at WrestleMania. That was exceptionally good at the time in 2001 for WrestleMania 17. But the outcome of it was very controversial and not to everyone's taste, with Steve Austin siding with Vince McMahon and turning heel. Yeah, it's a weird one. But yeah, I get it. I do get it, Terry, with Mania 15. It doesn't sit right with you. And I know that we've discussed WrestleMania 15 a lot. We would have probably discussed it a lot more tonight and gone in depth with certain elements of the show. Feel like I've done my bit the best I can, the best I can with the best I'm trying to chuck in a Bret Hart saying there, but it's not working. I can't get my words out. But do you like my Bret Hart hoodie, by the way, Terry? It's very, very cool. There we go. It's fucking cool. It's very silky and nice. I can feel my nip. No, anyway. So, anyway, that is WrestleMania 15. So that is another part of the 1999 timeline complete. And the Tezzy Bear doesn't have to endure WrestleMania 15 because I don't think he really wanted to watch it anyway. But Rainy Zane, Luke Rainsford, was supposed to be here tonight to do this with me, but unfortunately, he is absolutely burnt out from a very hard day's work. And, hey, I had to pull out all the stops, and I couldn't cancel tonight. We've already cancelled one episode in 6 days. I ain't doing it again. So going forward, if I have to do an episode on my own, I'll have to do it on my own. It is what it is. No, that's the thing, Terry. Luke already watched it, and he said he fucking loved the show. And I thought, okay. Yeah. I need to watch, because he already watched it at the beginning of the week. I think he watched it Monday and Tuesday, so he was on it, and I started watching it on Tuesday and Thursday. So Tuesday and last night, and then that's when I finished it. So there we go. Right then, guys. So I'm gonna wrap this up. It is 11:05 p.m. here in the UK. I'm quite burnt out. I'm quite tired myself, just like Rainy Zane. I got a bit of a cold, feel a bit sniffly. So I think my bed is calling me. My day is done. What a fantastic experience I've had doing this podcast on my own with you bunch of bloody boyos. And if there's any ladies out there, you can be a boyo just for this one night only. Why the fuck not? So I'm going to sign off. But before I go, I had to tell you something, which you can probably see on the bottom on the banner below, that on Wednesday, TDS's Raw, which will be myself, the return of the Teddy Bear, and Rainy Zane, we will be reviewing Monday Night Raw from Glasgow, Scotland. And, of course, Bologna, Italy, from SmackDown from tonight, which I'm going to watch probably the rest of that tomorrow morning when I've had a bit of sleep. I did watch the last 15 minutes of that where I saw CM Punk, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins have a little brawl, and they're all pointing at the sign to WrestleMania. Looks like we're getting a triple threat for something, not sure what. We shall have to wait and see what happens on Monday Night Raw. So I am going to sign off, and anyway, thank you guys all very much for the love and support, and for those of you who, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, then for the love of God, please do. And for those of you that are watching, if you know anyone that has not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you fucking tell them to subscribe to the TDS Wrestling Show and Pro Wrestling World. That would be just absolutely fantastic. So, my name is Sam Watts, and I am not joined by my co-host, but I am Sam Watts, and I am solo tonight for one night only, and hopefully that will be the only time I need to do this. But I am going to sign off and wish you all the very best. We will not be live on Sunday because we were going to do this tonight. So I will see you all next Wednesday, TDS's Raw, Week 13, where we will be reviewing the previous week in WWE and Monday Night Raw from Glasgow, Scotland. It's going to be a fucking blast, you bunch of bloody boyos. I can't fucking wait. So I'm signing off. I'm going to go to bed. I'm fucking tired and it is late and it is time for me to end the show. We'll see you on Wednesday. We will not be live on Sunday. That's just so you all are aware. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with myself on Sunday. I might just sit down and watch a bit of wrestling. You know? Right, I'm signing off, guys. Much love. I shall see you Wednesday with the other bunch of bloody boyos. Hang on a minute. Is Darren Carpenter coming DDC with a bang? Well, if he's not, we'll see him on Sunday. You'll see on Sunday, we've got a fucking cool episode next Sunday. Holy fucking shit. Who should be in the Hall of Fame next Sunday? That's going to be one you do not want to miss. Holy fuck. All three of us bunch of bloody boys will be here, and even Rainy Zane should be here. You're not going to have one, not two, not three, but four bunch of bloody fucking boyos. It's going to be amazing. Well, I'm signing off, guys. It's time for me to go to bed. Much love. I shall see you all on Wednesday, TDS's Raw. Thanks, guys.